This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this Flagstaff Mac model 228 LTD. Now, this is not a setup video. If you need to know how to set up and down, use the manufacturer's video. It's an excellent video. I'm just going to go over some of the features. It's sort of, I guess you would call this a supplemental video. So I'm going to go over some of the features and show you how they work. Okay. So here we are on the door side at the rear. Obviously, you just have a scissor type stabilizers. There's 4 of them, one on each corner, and it takes a 3/4 inch crank, which comes with it, or a 3/4 inch socket on an electric drill works good. Make sure it's 6-point. This rail here is to hang the cooktop. You have one cooktop, but it's both indoor and outdoor. See, right now it's sitting right here, but you can pull it through. Actually, it goes. I'm sorry, it hangs here actually. So you would you can just disconnect it on the inside, hang it on the rail here, and then plug into the LP system right here. Okay, so you can use it inside or out. Also, I'll show you when we get in there. But if you can see underneath that, the table there's a black rail. That's where it stows when you're traveling. You put it on that rail so it doesn't slide around. It fits right in there. Okay. Your awning is a Dometic A&E awning, and the poles and everything except for, I think you get 4 stakes that are inside the trailer here, but everything else stores in the rafter, which is the end piece that goes all the way across the width of it. So all the poles just fold in and out. You don't have to worry about losing them or anything like that. So it's a very, very good product. And the bag is nice and big, so you can roll it up with by yourself or with 2 people without having to roll it super tight. Like some of them, you can barely fit it in the bag. But this has got plenty of room. If you ever have to roll this up, the awning up, or put the cabinets away while it's wet, either from morning dew or from a rain when you're packing up, just make sure when you get home, the very first nice day, open it up, open the windows, and let the breeze just blow through it and dry it out. Even if you're not going to be camping in it, let's say for an entire season, still a couple times throughout the winter, or excuse me, the summer, you want to open it up and just let it sit on a nice sunny day and dry out. That's important. If you do that, you'll never have any kind of issues when it comes to mildew or anything like that. So just let it air out, and if you put it away wet, make sure you open up and let it completely dry. Okay? So, let me just look under here. So this is a power winch on it. Or is it a winch? I think it's a winch. So, if you look, you have your switch right here, up and down. Now you have to sort of guard that. If you've got little kids who are going to grab a hold of that and operate it, make sure you disconnect the battery or take some kind of precautions, because when this is down and latched, if they just push that switch and lay it on it, it'll actually bend the mount for the power winch. So make sure you guard it, is what I'm saying. Little kids will do that. We see it all the time. It's just the way they're wired. Okay, so you have a deep cycle marine battery, 20-pound LP tank. That's the regulator up there. So, okay. Now when it comes to your refrigerator, this is where you operate it out here. Now this is a 3-way refrigerator, meaning it'll use 3 different energy sources. It'll use LP gas, it'll use 12-volt DC, and it'll use 110 AC. Like it says right on this sticker here, never double up or triple up on an energy source. Just use one energy source. So we'll start with the gas. So you can see I got the little port open so you can see it. I'm just going to go to the high, if you can see that. Then I'll depress this and spark it. And that's it. Lights just like that. Okay. Let it heat up. Then this green one, I know it's kind of dark in here, but the green one is 110 AC. So that's the most common one. When you're plugged into the campground, you're just going to turn it on, and it runs off of regular current at the campsite. Now, if you want to, let's say you're pulling it down the road, and you want to keep it cool, well, you can shut the AC off. You can turn on DC, and it'll run off battery power. The alternator on your tow vehicle will charge your battery. And the battery will run this. Just make sure you don't pull in you decide to stay in a motel, for example, and you leave it hooked up, because it will drain both your batteries down if you leave it hitched up and you're running it on 12 volts. So always keep that in mind, okay? But it's very simple. The design's been around forever, and like I said, 3-way, meaning 3 energy sources. Okay, this is a sink drain right here. You can unscrew this cap, and it just has regular garden hose fitting, so you can make up a hose to go to a sewer or to a bucket or whatever you want to do. This is your city water hookup. This is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You just hook up your city water and you're all set. Okay. If you're going to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsite, you can pre-fill your fresh water tank here. Okay. Just take the cap off, fill it up, and then you can use the onboard 12-volt pump to pump the water. So the sink will work just like it has a city water hookup. It's just going to be running out of, or pumping water out of the tank. Okay. Now this right here, you don't have to worry about this unless you add air conditioning. This thing is pre-prepped for air conditioning. So that's all this thing is here. Let me just shut it there. So you don't really have to worry about it. If you ever got air conditioning, the cord would pull out of here and then plug into the upper part of the trailer, the roof. Okay. So you have a 30 amp cord, 30 feet long, and we give you a reducer to reduce it down to a 20 amp, or you could plug it in your backyard, that sort of thing. This is not set right, but this obviously goes on the outside of this to cover it up. There's also 2 braces that come with it. They go kitty corner from each other. I'll show you that when we get inside, and they'll clip onto they'll clip onto here, and you just put them kitty corner from each other. There's only 2 of them. All right, so another thing, that's your traveling door, your half door. That's where it stows when you're at the campground. You can see it there. All the lights are LED inside and out. Okay. Alrighty, so inside, this is the refrigerator. Obviously the controls are outside, but there you have it right there. This is the cooktop we talked about, the rail, so you can hang this on the outside. Let me get a better view of it here. You can hang it on the outside, and when you're stowing it, you're going to hang it right on here when you're traveling. Okay. Let me see what I should go to next here. These plugs are in case you want to add accessories to it, like a fan light combo or reading lights and things like that, just so you know what that's for. The door, when it comes to putting the screen door in and out, that will be on the main manufacturer's video for you. Roof vent, if you were to add an air conditioner, it would fit right in this hole where the roof vent is. Okay. Alright, so this device here is your power converter. So what it does, it takes, when you're plugged in, it takes 110 AC and then distributes it throughout the trailer. You see you got two circuit breakers like you see at home, and then it takes the rest of the power and converts it to 12 volt DC. So you see you got 12 volt fuses here, okay, and they're labeled. Also, when you're plugged in, this is a battery tender. It'll sense how much energy your battery has and needs, and if it's topped off, it'll just trickle a couple amps to keep it that way. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs to charge up. So it'll also maintain your battery for you. Okay. This is your water pump here we talked about. Use the water pump to pump water out of your fresh water tank if you don't have city water. If you do have city water, you don't worry about the tank or the pump, obviously. This is also used to pump antifreeze throughout the system when you're winterizing. Okay. This device here is your carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It's green. It should always be green. It'll go off and detect carbon monoxide or LP gas leak. And if it using the same tone, if it beeps very slowly, it's telling you that your battery is low. So it does 3 things. Let me run through the test for you so you can hear it. LP is good. Carbon monoxide test coming up. And then of course the low battery alert. Okay, and then back to green. It should always be green. If not, you want to get it serviced. Now your water pump and that sort of thing are all under this bench right here. You can see right there there's a screw, and there's also one in the back. That's a 1/2 inch square, or excuse me, no it's not. It's a number 2 square headed screw, so you need a bit for your drill with a number 2 square, because all the screws on this trailer are number 2 square. And then underneath this bench it's storage. Okay. Alright, so let me look around. Now with the sink, this knob will, if you're pumping water out of the tank, you'll use this side. If you're using city water, you use this one here, just like this shows on the sticker there, okay? These are your keys, of course. Let's see what else we have, if anything that I forgot. Just some extra stuff. There's a spatula, some ties to tie back your curtains. This is all the information for the trailer. All the different appliances and attachments, that sort of thing. I'm also looking a little farther here to see if there's anything else that I forgot here, but I think we've pretty much got it. Of course, you have to put the table down in the stove position when you're traveling. So you would collapse the legs and you set it on these cleats here. There's 4 of them, and there's some Velcro on it so it sticks there. So make sure you do that, of course. And when you're sliding the bunks in, everything has to be below. Let's show you this one here. Below these rails here, or it'll interfere with them. So make sure you take care of that. This turns into a bed, obviously. This will turn into a small bed here, the dinette, and then you have your 2 pull-out beds also. So okay. Let me just look around and see what we've got here. These are heaters for your mattresses, or let's call them warmers, because they don't get it hot, they just take the chill out of it. So basically, this part here, plug into here on the mattress, and the other end goes into the nearest 110, which is right here in this case. And then it's got a little analog thermostat on it. You can, like I said, it'll take the chill out of it. You get 2 of those. This is just a tool you get with it. This is for setting the stops on your roof, your winch system, or is it a winch? Anyway, so that's all this is for. If you have issues with it, obviously you'll come back and we'll adjust it for you, but it should be just fine the way it is. We've already tested it. This apparently it goes in your smoke detector. Let me look around a little bit. I think we've pretty much looked at everything here. I just want to make sure. Yes. Okay, so I think that about covers it. One thing to know is that you have to inspect and reseal this trailer like all trailers. So every 90 days the manufacturer states, this would be easier to show you when it's down, but I can't do it right now. So at the top, see these plastic corner pieces? You're going to inspect those, and if you see any issues with separation, you're going to use clear ProFlex on it. Don't use hardware store caulk. You always use the right stuff from an RV place. And the vent on the roof also has sealant on it. You're going to check that. And just any place you see sealant from the manufacturer, you're just going to look at, and if you see any separation starting, take care of it immediately. And this thing will be, I've seen these things 20, 30 years old that are still bone dry inside. But the common denominator between all those is they always inspect it. All trailers have to be inspected and resealed as necessary, okay? So make sure you do that. The piece I told you that goes kitty corner, the brace, what it's for, people will tell you all different kinds of things, actually, but what it's actually for is, you know, you're out in the woods and trees can fall and branches can fall. So here they are here. There's 2 of them, like I said. You'll slap those on there, and it's really low tech, but it just adds more support for the roof. So if a tree branch was to hit your roof, it just gives it that much more support. Like if you were in a tent, for example, you would get next to none. This just gives you more support. It's a safety thing. Okay. Also, this is your thermostat for your furnace, which runs on LP gas. You always click it to the left, like listen, like that. Always click it till you hear, or always click it to the left, or always move it to the left till you hear it click, and that way you know for sure that it's off. Also, if you notice this right here, see how the lights go out? There are kill switches underneath here, just so you know that they're there. If you ever have trouble and the lights won't come on, always look there, because that's probably where the problem is, although it shouldn't be a problem. I'm just letting you know potentially what a problem could be, so make sure that you know that those kill switches are there. That just kills all the power to the trailer when it's stowed, so that something can't run, you know, when you've got it all closed up. So, okay. Alright. So, alright, I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Like I said, this is a supplemental video. Also look at manufacturers' videos. Now this is winterized right now. There's no water in the system. It's set for the winter, and so please remember to that you have to winterize it and take care of that. Learn how to do that. It's very simple. And also, like I said, make sure you inspect it every 90 days and seal as necessary, and you'll be in good shape. Okay? Thank you.